Gia, you already know what's going on. It's your big dog, Fatty. Outside looking inside, surviving prison. Gia. Right back, right back. You already know the score. Hit that like for me or that dislike. You know what I'm saying? However you feel. Let me put my goggles on. Oh, yeah, that's much better. Feel me? Got him tied up for you. You heard me? So, yeah, right back, right back, right back. You already know, man. Hit that like, subscribe to the channel. That help the channel grow. You know what I'm saying? Help the channel grow, help the channel get bigger. I've been getting a couple new followers and welcome to the channel. Hope y'all liking what's going on. Send your comments in, send your questions in. If you want to talk about something, holler at me. We about to start doing split screen videos on here, and we getting it popping. So stick around. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the comments and everything. So somebody asked me a question about being prepared to come home. Talking about something I said in an earlier video. Being prepared to come home, that's huge. That's one of the best things you could do while you in prison. What you should be doing while you in prison is preparing yourself to come home. It don't matter how much time you have, you got. You still gonna be in there doing what you gotta do to survive and, you know what I'm saying, come home healthy. But in the midst of it all, it's a lot that you can do in there to prepare yourself to come home and be successful. And I'm thinking about myself. I'm thinking about me and my situation. Cause like I said, I did a bunch of stuff in there, and then I didn't start out doing it. I wasted a whole lot of years in prison before I snapped out of it and realized that I was tripping and what I needed to do. So yeah, I got my GED. I got some college in, a little bit of college in, but I ended up going to the whole. I was taking business. I was taking business management classes. I ended up going to the whole, and that time, it actually wasn't my fault. For real, I got took down for a mistaken identity, but I had did like 7-8 days in the hole, so I missed them classes, and that accounting, ooh, that's a beast. So I missed them 7 days, and I was behind. So when I got out and went to class, it really wasn't no catching up for me. I tried to, but the teacher got a whole nother class, and it's just a lot to explain. So I flunked out of that. But that was Ashland University in Richland Correctional Institution. But then when I rolled out some years later and got to Lake Erie Correctional Institution, they had Kent State. So I went in there and I jumped back in business. I ain't have accounting that time. I just had business management. And but yeah, I did that with a B. I finished that with a B. But yeah, I got my education, man. I did, like I said, I did graphic design. I was like an 18-month course to teach you how to get on the computer and make billboards, flyers, book covers. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. Album covers, stuff like that. So I got my certification in that. I did carpentry. So they had carpentry. I spoke about auto body in there. Like they had a real spot where they was really fixing on cars. Where they was fixing on cars, painting cars, doing everything, and they taught you how to do that in there. So all that was at Richland Correctional Institution. And when I said like get to an institution and have these things, like they got these, I know in Ohio they got, it's called a hardship. So you can, if your family member locked up and they far out, you can apply for a hardship. So it could be like a medical hardship. Um, if you the person that's on the street and and you older or whatever and you really can't travel far, you could put them type of hardships in, and that can possibly get your loved one moved closer, get closer to you, so your commute won't be so far. Um, Hardship, look that up. HARDSHIP, hardship. You could file for a hardship and possibly get your family member moved closer so your commute is not that far. How negative is it inside a prison? It's it's super negative. It's super negative because it's really evil people in prison. Like, I ain't trying to say that everybody, all inmates is cool and shit. No, not at all. It's super evil in prison, super negative in prison, and that's just what's going on. Like, I got caught up in the negativity in prison, and when I'm thinking about negativity, it's like blaming people on the outside when you're not receiving no mail from them. They not sending you no money. They not accepting your call. You know what I'm saying? And you be in there be like, man, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? I don't mess with them no more. Woo, woo, woo. Well, listen, these people ain't do your crime. You did your crime. You put your, well, I must talk about me. I did my crime. I put myself in prison. You know what I'm saying? And then I was young too, so it wasn't fair for me to be mad at somebody because they don't understand prison. They don't understand prison, and they got a life and they living their life and their life just started. And because I was 19 when I got locked up, and prison made me not like none of my friends or family or none of that just because they didn't know. They ain't understand it a lot. I didn't know, and I was in there. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, prison is real negative, and you got to be like that to survive. Well, I had to be like that. I had to be like that. The things that how I was feeling about certain people that was in my immediate know, like in my circle when I was home, I ain't had a right to be upset with them or nothing. So when I came home, I did talk to a couple of them, a few of them, hear their story, hear what they had to say. You know what I'm saying? But really, nobody owed me nothing. Ain't nobody owed me nothing. It was a couple people that stuck around and hollered at me from time to time and did what they could. But after I really sat down and thought about it, and this was years later, and probably not until I came home, it was like, shit, when I was on the street, I was really the breadwinner. I was really helping them. I was really like motivating them to do what they, hey, come on, we can do this. Hey, come on, we can do that. And just doing stuff, you know what I'm saying? And not even knowing myself. Not even knowing myself. A lot of, I'm going to say, I really was just self-taught. I really was self-taught. I just dove into things and just did it. And, you know, that's why I say I'm blessed and highly favored, because it used to just always work out for me. I ain't know what I was doing half of the time. Majority of the time, from the streets to in the penitentiary, I was just going. I was just moving. I was just trying not to be a victim. Trying not to be a victim. Trying to live up to the name and the reputation that latched on to me from some of the stuff that I was doing on the street. I I ain't have a clue. I ain't know how deep and dangerous and treacherous things really was. It really was like a game to me. It was like a game to me, and I'm gonna win a game. I'm gonna be first, and that's just how it was. But yeah, I was very young and ignorant, and I had a lot of ignorant people around me, and yeah, it just really wasn't a good time. Prison, and then going to prison, that really like magnified it. Cause like I said, I wasn't about to be a victim. I was scared. I was hearing about people getting raped. The only thing I was seeing was like about prison was movies, and it was like Alcatraz and all that type of crazy stuff. People getting raped and people getting stabbed and how you had to live. So I knew I had a lot of time, so I came through the door just really just own it. I wasn't about to be a victim. I wasn't about to be a victim. I wasn't about to take nothing, and I had to prove myself. I had to prove myself and be as wild as possible to make sure that don't nobody try to climb on my back. Cause they'll try to climb on your back. It don't matter how big you is, how tall you is, what neighborhood you from. All right, so look, here go a story. So I was I'm Mansfield Correctional Institution. It's probably the 90s, the end of the 90s, maybe 98. Yeah, 98, because my brother was still alive. So this was like 98. I had been locked up since like 95. So my reputation in the institution was he gonna go, leave him and whoever he with alone, because he gonna jump in the front and go hard. So that was my reputation. But then too, I never liked bullies. I never liked people who pick on people and try to do stuff to people. So a lot of my little friends from back in the day and on the street to the penitentiary was like the stragglers, people who don't mean no harm. You know what I'm saying? So I said that to say that I get cool with this guy, Bobby, little Bobby. We get cool through playing basketball. I was in the sports playing ball and stuff. So we get cool through playing ball. We always seem to end up on the same team or whatnot. And we was on the same pod. We was the same age and everything. He probably was a little shorter than me. So everybody used to be calling him Lippy. And because I took it because he had these real fat lips. But he was cool, you know what I'm saying? We'd sit down, we'd laugh, we'd joke. We had a lot in common. We was, you know, like I said, we was the same age. I'm from Cleveland, he from Akron. So we did a lot of kicking it. Three-way calling for each other, hooking each other up with cousins, you know what I'm saying? Let me talk to your cousin. And you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Showing each other pictures. We was cool. So I had this like 98. So I was working in the kitchen. I was working in the chow hall. And so I'd be gone a lot of the day. And I come back to the pod one day and my cell was all the way in the back. So you really had to be somebody to have a corner cell in Mansfield at this time. Like anybody who on here that know about Mansfield in like 98, if you got a corner cell, so it's like 1, 2 down there on that end, then it's 1, 2 down on that end. This the bottom range. So it's 4 corner cells, 8 corner cells, 4 on the bottom, 4 on the top. At this time, I had the corner cell all the way in the back on the bottom. We was in pod 3C, 3C, Mansfield Correctional Institution, 3C. I was all the way in the corner cell. So Spank was my cellie, but he went to the hall. We had made some hooch. He got super drunk and crashed out lightweight, went to the hall. So I ain't had no cellie. So anyway, I'm coming home from the chow hall. I'm talking about home. I'm coming back to the pod from the chow hall. I'm going to my cell. Bobby's cell was the cell right before mine. So, and the reason why I remember I ain't had no cellie, because we was in the process of getting Bobby moved into my cell. As for my cellie, before they just put anybody in there. So I'm going past his cell. So I see like, boom, 2 dudes in front of the door for security. They in the gang. You know what I'm talking about? They in the gang. So it's 2 dudes standing in front of Bobby's cell. And it's like, okay, so if 2 dudes standing in front of the cell, it's only like a few things that could be going on. They in there packaging up some dope or smoking or something, or they fighting or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Either way it go, I gotta walk past them to get to my cell. So in the midst of me walking past them, like boom, I get in the middle of them. Like they standing side by side. And I told y'all about the little window that's on the cell door. So boom, I go through the middle of them and I'm looking in, because if they got some action in there, then I see, boop, cut me in. You feel me? I'm on that type of time all of the time, for real, like no cap. So let big dog know what's going on, and when I see it, okay, yeah, proceed, but holla at me. So anyway, when I dip my head and look through the window, I see about, it's like 4 of them in there. 4 other ones in there, and it's Bobby in there. And Bobby like sitting on the bed, and he looked like he in distress. Bobby is sitting in Bob in here in real distress mode. So I yanked the door open. I opened the door. What's up, Bob? And you know what I'm saying? He won't look at me. But everybody else, the other dudes in there like, man, let us holler at him real quick, fatty. Let us holler at him real quick. All right, y'all gonna be able to holler at him, but what's up though, bruh? What's up? You cool? So he like, yeah, I'm cool. But dude, nigga got tears on his face. You know what I'm saying? Nigga face wet. So I'm like, man, but he telling me he cool. And I know he ain't cool, so, but I don't know what's going on. And I know he in his gang too. So all these his little gang members. So I'm thinking like he did something, they about to violate him. Ain't nothing I could do about it, for real. I ain't in the gang. I already done violated them by going through their security, opening the door. And you feel me? I should have got pounced on. I would have punched me if I was in the gang. But anyway, yeah, good. I'm glad they didn't punch me. So anyway, I go back to my cell. My cell probably like 6 feet away my door. So I go to my cell. I go in there. I take my child hall stuff off. Get ready. Boom. I shoot to go take a shower. I'm really lightweight concerned about Bobby, but told me he was cool. This his little gang member, so whatnot. So boom, I go take my shower. I come back. They still out there. They still in there. So now I'm in my cell and I'm hearing boom. That's the bed moving. You know what I'm saying? So they in there scuffling. Sound like they scuffling. Wasn't no like freaky stuff. They was scuffing him up in there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm listening to it for a minute, and I feel like all these dudes are suckers anyway. So I had enough. I come out, I go over there, I snatch the door open. So now when I snatch the door open, it's another dude in there. It's a dude in there. He not in the gang. His name Dilk. That was his name. Black dude. Little short, like stocky, big head, black dude. He just rolled into the institution, you know what I'm saying? He played basketball. He reminded me of like Chauncey Billups, you feel me? So, and his last name was Dilk, so that's why I remember that. And so he was in there with a couple other dudes. So I open up the door like, man, come here, Bobby, man. Come on, man. And I pull him out the cell. They let me pull him out the cell. They like, fatty, man, what's up, man? This our business. And, man, you tripping. I'm like, man, hold up, man. Just let me holler at him real quick. So I get him and I take him to my cell. So we sitting, I got him in my cell. I'm like, man, what's going on, bro? And he like, he ain't talking. He ain't saying nothing. So I go back out. I'm like, man, what's up? So the dude Delk like, man, just let me holler at you real quick. We can all go in your cell. So boom, me, him, and Delk in the cell together. And I'm like, man, what's going on? So Delk like, look, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I know this your dude. I be seeing y'all together. Y'all be breaking bread and everything. But me and him had sexual relations. I'm like, sexual relations? He like, yeah, we had sexual relations. We was at another institution together. I forget the name. I forget the institution. But he like, we was at another institution together. And yeah, we had sexual relations. Me, him, and a white boy. He was like, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but when I rolled to this institution, he acting like he don't know who I am. And I got feelings for him. So while he's saying this, Bobby to hit him. Bow! He slapping. But he slapping and like, Delk face don't even move. He probably did like that, and then he just kept talking, and he looking at Bobby like, "Man, I love you. Why is you doing this?" Bobby slapped him again. Foul. So I'm sitting back. I'm like, dude, I'm shocked. You know what I'm saying? And I could see that the dude Delk is telling the truth. So what they was doing was Delk went to the gang and told the gang that Bob was gay. And so now the gang was violating Bob. They was going in there and stripping him of his colors, you know what I'm saying? Because he had velour, maroon towels. He had a whole little room draped out, marooned out. So they in there snatching all this down. And they taking it. They stripping him, kicking him out the gang or whatnot. So after I find this out, like, I'm really dumbfounded. I don't know what to do. Like, and I can't protect him no more. I found out, you know what I'm saying, what you went to. And it's like, I'm trying to find it, but it wasn't nothing that I could do. He was the fruit. So, yeah, I end up getting him out my cell, kicking him out my cell. So they go back into his cell. Now they got him back in his cell. And then they're scuffing him and roughing him and boom. So the end result was they kicked him out the gang. But like I said, I had that corner cell. And Bobby was still in that cell that he was in. So they stripped him of everything. They kicked him out the gang. And I used to see every last one of them gang members that was in there that jumped on him and kicked him out the gang, tipping up in that cell, having little rendezvous with little Lippy Bobby after that. So they act like they were so disgusted about him doing what he did that got him kicked out the gang. Then they all start tipping over there and doing their thing with him. So it was crazy, man. Yeah, that was a crazy time. I was really mad at Bobby. The only reason I ain't pop him upside his top was yeah, I ain't know what he might have had doing all that. But he came and tried to talk to me a time after that. I think I did pop him in his eye. Popped him in his eye, told him get away from me and whatnot. But after that, he was all the way out. Full out. He was out. And he was kicking it. He was living his life like that. Yeah, so that was a crazy story. But Bob wasn't the only one that was like sneaking around like that, man. I had another, but I ain't gonna talk about that one right now. I'll probably say that for later, because I don't want to talk about too many of them. But it was a lot of that going on, a lot of it, and that was like the beginning of me really learning about it. Like I said, I got locked up in 95. This was like 98. So I was there for like 3 years. But that really wasn't going on around me and on the pods that I was on. They had like pods on the other side of the compound where all of them lived for real. And they was living together in the cells together. It was cousins that was in their cellies trading off on each other like that. So yeah, that is really heavy going on in there, and I can see why it's like that on the street now, because they, man, yeah, outside looking inside, you already know what it is, man. That's just a little something that, you feel me? But yeah, I don't even, oh man. Hey, y'all stick around, man.